All right, ladies and gentlemen, I try to acknowledge people in the best way possible. I try to make sure I'm giving people the spotlight they deserve, or people feel they're important, and I try to make sure that I try to not sound like I'm the only one or that I'm this and that, and I really try to make sure, when I'm talking about something, I try to cover all the angles, and I'm trying to like make sure that people know that I'm not a certain way about this or that, and that I really want to include you or not include you if that's the case, if it's better that way. Like if you need to be included, I try to cover all the bases and try to make sure that I'm saying the right thing, that you guys know that I'm on your side and feel really good about you and feel really good about your performances and your vlogs and whatever you do, singing, dance, whatever. And I really try to make sure you guys feel that I'm acknowledging you as a person, um, or as a YouTuber or TikToker, and that you guys are having your time is valuable. You want people that are acknowledging you. You want people that are saying things. And I feel sometimes it comes across as maybe not articulate. And I'm very articulate. I'm very smart. I'm very smart. But I do feel, sometimes I'm like saying, like the acquaintances thing and my friend thing, like, I mean, people might be like, maybe I don't want people to take it too seriously. Like when I talk about stuff like that and I say stuff, I want to make sure I'm not saying something harsh, like maybe someone's had a crush on me for a while and they say hello and they don't know what else to say, right? So I don't want to make it sound like I'm like never have crushes on people or that it's never going to go anywhere, because sometimes you might have an acquaintance and it does go somewhere. But and then I did say, Channing Tatum said, if people are in your life and they're in your life a certain way, they're always going to be that way. It's a generalization. It's not necessarily a fact, and not everybody's going to fit that mold. There are exceptions to the rule. I also wanted to make the point that if you are just saying hi and you don't invest too much into it, you're just saying hello. You don't even care. You're just like hi, oh hi, oh like you just see me and you're like hi. Then they want you to feel like, hey, he's just acknowledged me. Oh, great, great, great. I love his channel. Great, he's inspiring me. And let's say you're a lesbian or you are like women. I don't want you to think that I'm like, oh, she likes me, or if you're a heterosexual guy and I'm bi, obviously, that you're like that I'm saying that you like me when you don't, right? And I try to cover my bases and say all the right things. And sometimes I feel like that makes it worse, but I try not to say too many things. But I try to make sure you guys know that I'm thinking about you and that I don't want you to feel like when I say all these explanations of all these things and I'm trying to get deeper into it and trying to cover all my bases, I want you guys to know that I do that for you. Maybe you don't see it that way. Maybe you think, oh my God, he just said this, no way, or why did he say that, or why was he talking about it for so long? I don't want you guys to get the wrong impression. So that's why I spend more time on it, because I want to make sure I'm covering everything. And sometimes I miss things. Sometimes I'm like, well, that didn't make any sense, or why did I say that, or now my acquaintances are gonna be like, well, I just said hi. I don't care. I'm not interested in dating. I have a lesbian girlfriend, whatever, right? I'm a lesbian. I'm dating, and I want you to know that I'm not like, oh my God, like I made up this, not made it, but talked about the acquaintance thing, and I'm like really seriously involved with this. Some people really are acquaintances for just being acquaintances. They don't want anything to do with the person. They just value their channel, or they're happy to see you. And even now when I'm talking about this, I'm like, I don't want you guys to think that I'm like obsessing about this, because I really don't think too much about it, guys. But and some of that, and I don't want you to think also that if you do have a crush on me and you like me, then I'm just like, oh well, people that are acquaintances are in this category and they're never gonna make it to this category. Some of the acquaintances make you date acquaintances because you have a more close relationship with them later. So I don't want you to thinking about it in either way necessarily, or saying with one direction more than the other. If you are just saying hello and you don't want anything to do with me dating wise, or in any even as a friend, which I don't want any friends, I want dates only. If you don't want to date me, I'm not going to be like, oh, I only said hello to date you. Like I think most people understand that that's not really what people do. Some people are like, you said hello, why don't you date me? That's a lunacy, right? I don't think most people are like that. But then some people are like, well, I'm really shy and I want to get to know you and I don't know what else to say. We don't have anything in common, but I want to learn something about you, but I don't know what to say and you always look so busy. And maybe with that person I'm not interested, so I'm always busy, but maybe that person I am interested, but I'm just busy too, you know? And I don't want people to get the wrong impression. I tend to talk about these things way more than I should, but it really isn't something that I think about too much or put too much stock in. I mean, if I'm gonna date someone, I'm gonna date someone. And whether they're an acquaintance or just someone that or someone that I had a deep conversation with for hours, you know, it could lead to the deep conversation for hours eventually if we end up wanting, if we both wanted to go that way. I really don't want people to be like, oh, so he's an acquaintance of mine, he's really thinking about this and he wants to date me. I don't even want to date him. I just say hello because his channel's good, you know? I really don't want you guys thinking anything like anything at all. Like, and if you do like me, then of course, maybe, I mean, you know, the thing is though, I mean, it has to happen a certain way, right? Like, maybe there is someone that's an acquaintance that we would both date each other, but I really feel that most of my acquaintances, maybe I find them really, really attractive, but I don't like the younger type of person, so I don't date someone that's younger. So even if they're really, 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 really attractive and I like them physically, I won't date someone that's younger. So I hope that doesn't make people feel bad if they're younger and they're like, I've been saying hi this long and you don't even like me. So I really want, and maybe that won't be the case. I don't know. Like, I can't account for every single acquaintance I have. I don't know. I can't say for every acquaintance or everything that I've ever experienced. But I tend to focus on all these things and talk about them for nonstop. And you guys are always like, you know, maybe there is someone that is young that I would have a crush on, or maybe in 2 years, that's old enough. You know, we're acquaintances for 2 more years, and then we take it to the next step. You know, I don't want you to think that I'm focusing on these things too much, because I really want you guys to be like, okay, if I'm just an acquaintance, and I have a boyfriend, then I have a boyfriend. I'm just an acquaintance. So I want you to be like, okay, yeah, that's why we're acquaintances, because I have a boyfriend or I have a girlfriend, and I don't want anything more. And I'm more than happy to say hello to people like that. And some of them, you know, I think for the most part nowadays, when you're older, I'm 42. I don't have time for friends. I want to date. I want to be all over the place with dating. I don't really have time for friends. And I think people are like that themselves. So people that I talk to are the same way. They're busy dating. They don't have time for you to hang out with you or spend time with you. So they just want to say hello because they want to acknowledge they like your channel. They want to acknowledge they like whatever. And I really hope you guys are like, oh my god, he said all this stuff. I really don't think too much about it. I mean, if it's somebody I might have a physical attraction to, then maybe I think, oh, that'd be nice if we date. But I don't think about it, you know, nonstop. And I'm not like, oh my god, they said hi. You know, that's just weird, right? No one's gonna be like, they said hi, and they, you know. Then maybe if you think that you like me and that's good enough to say hi, then I don't want you to just think it's like that I'm analyzing it too much or that I'm criticizing you if you think it's if I think it's like not gonna lead anywhere. But acquaintances, some of the start as acquaintances can lead somewhere further. So everything that I say, basically think of it this way. Everything that I say about all the things that I say, everything that I've ever said a vlog about, everything I've analyzed, everything I've criticized, everything I've said very nice things about, don't take it as a definite way that I always think and there's no exceptions to every rule to the rules. There might be an exception to the rule. There might be a chance that I don't feel that way, or maybe, you know, and life is like that, right? You can't control everything. Sorry, guys. You can't control everything. You can't be, sorry, everyone. You can't control everything. You can't have your way with everything. So even though some things might seem like, you know, even though I say something, maybe next week I completely change my mind on everything, right? So don't go about saying, oh my God, Marco said this. I can't believe it. I had a huge crush on him, and I just said hello several times, and I just found out he's not interested because he said Channing Tatum placed crushes and saying hello at a certain level, and it's not a close connection. Saying hello sometimes could lead to that connection. But then like, you know what I mean. I've gone in circles with this over and over again. But the point is that I don't want you to think that I don't take you seriously if you want me to take you seriously. And then I also don't want you to think that I take you too seriously if you don't even think much of it. Anyway, thank you, darlings. Totally enjoy. I find these conversations with you guys like on these platforms are funny because I'm like, everyone's like, what are you talking about? I just want to say hello, and I'm like, oh. But that's why I clear it up because I'm like, if you just want to say hello, that's totally fine. And besides, I think we all know, we all want that close friendship connection with people that we actually see as friends. So people that tend to be acquaintances might just want to be your acquaintance, and that's what they're wanting, right? Because that's why they don't have any more conversation with you. And maybe if I have a conversation with someone, because maybe now that I said this, maybe people might want to try to converse with me. I might not have time, or I might not have that feeling of wanting to be with that person, so I might just dismiss it or be busy and just do my thing, because I don't really have time to have conversations with people that I'm like rushing when I'm rushing around. And so, maybe it means that I'm not interested, and you never know, right? Like anything can happen, right? So don't quote me on anything. Don't say that I'm saying this and this is set in stone or anything like that. And there are some people that you might be attracted to, and maybe later you realize later on that you're more attracted to them as they got older, or maybe you didn't know you liked them and you finally figured out that you do. There's so many things that can happen that it's not something you can control, darlings. Anyway, thank you.